Alright, Summoners, we are back with the GPL Summer Split 2014 season. My name is Wolf, and on the casting table with me tonight for this final game number 4 is Chris.
Hi. So we're back into action. This is going to be the last match for tonight, as you rightfully pointed out. It is going to be Wargods going up against Machi Esports, which we have a whole load of inside information for you guys later.
But first, it's not really inside. It's not really inside information.
Let me take a selfie.
I mean, no. Let me take out my phone.
No. I mean, but first, let's come to pick and bans. As let's look at some of the bans that's coming through here. Lee Sin, Kill, and Twitch. Finally, an AD ban coming out for Wargods.
Finally, no Brom ban, I have to say first.
Yeah, finally, no Brom ban as well. Kassadin, Jax, and Rengar being taken away on the side of Machi Esports. As you look at the lineup over here, it is not Golem that's on the starting lineup, and instead it's going to be Big Brother.
Golem got slain by the regulations, basically.
We'll talk about that in a while.
But first, picks and bans, like you said, Wargods have decided to opt for Lucian as their first pick. Let's take a look at what Machi Esports have in store for us.
Brom.
It is going to be Brom.
The Big Brother Brom coming into play.
Don't think it's going to be played by Big Brother though. We will see.
Yep. So Wargods.
And of course, Yasuo being the next one.
So double wall action from Machi Esports here today.
Nothing is going to penetrate through those walls at all.
Very thick wall that's going to come through for Machi Esports.
That's right. The wind wall and the ice wall.
Yeah, and you know, before we talk about some
oh my goodness! No
Mordekaiser locked in for Wargods, as we have some commotion on the live audience.
Wow.
I was about to say something about Wargods, and bam, Mordekaiser come through as well.
Okay, let's wrap our heads around this one.
I have an idea why.
Okay, why?
What's the concurrent event that's happening now?
What's the concurrent event that's happening now?
The World Cup.
Okay, so you want to channel your inner Brazil?
Yeah, so, you know, just
even though
get
they are not
Mordekaiser.
doing all too well.
Oh man, we're back to the lobby, so a little disappointing. Might not be the Mordekaiser actually, so
I hope it is actually.
yeah, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it is the Mordekaiser. Yeah, Overpower did play that competitively for Rocket.
Just one game.
Yeah, just one game, but you know he did win that game.
Yeah,
so
he did. He definitely won that game.
it's like at the end of the pockets to try to dig that out and then just play that for one game and then just win it.
Okay, now since we have the time.
Yes.
Golem is not playing for Machi Esports anymore. You are not gonna see him play the top lane role or play professionally for at least 2 years. Explain to me why, Chris.
So Machi Esports have met with some regulation bans coming in for their top laner Golem, the newest one that they picked up as well, and for the substitute Vanilla V. So
Vanilla V and Golem have been banned out for 2 years in the competitive League of Legends scene because with the blanks?
For elo boosting.
Elo boosting. Really, guys?
Get your act together, guys. Do not elo boost, especially if you're playing pro gamers.
I think, you know, like, you probably earn more money if you're an entertaining streamer than if you do elo boosting. And what's the fun of elo boosting anyway? I mean,
I have no idea.
No clue.
Don't ask me.
No real clue.
I don't want to be banned out as a caster, so
I mean,
anyway.
I have no idea about elo boosting either anyway, so
anyway.
it's just a bad thing for
Alright, so coming back to this one, and I have a lot to build up about Big Brother as well. He is very interesting,
yes,
but before that...
Let's go through the picks and bans. It's not going to be the Mordekaiser, instead it's going to be the Morgana. So it'll be like, aww.
I guess, you know, it's kind of confusing. It's like a Korean situation as well. Sometimes when they try to ban out the Annie,
they ban out
the events. That's understandable. When you have this champions with very close names, sometimes it happens.
So let's take a look at what Machi Esports have up their sleeve. So they want to kind of, what's the word here? Synergize their Yasuo pick. They have the Braum for the knockup, and now they might be thinking of going on to their Jarvan. J. Kane, very proficient on that champion, played it in his game last week, I believe.
Yes.
And did a fantastic job ganking the lanes really early, landing those very clutch flag lance combos and just snowballing all his lanes. So wouldn't be surprised for him to, if he locks it in, and Big Brother might be going for a top lane Mundo now.
Yep, and it is kind of surprising for me that he goes back to something like Mundo and locking it so early as well, because we honestly haven't been seeing a whole lot of Mundo. I mean, Mimer has played it over at the EU LCS for a couple of times, but
I think
that's about it.
Archie played it for the Azuru type
Oh,
of
yes.
assassins as well
But
for the
it's,
GPL.
yeah, the point I'm trying to make is that it's not so common, and not common when you are sort of picking it blind into opponent top laner. So Wargods will have the response to that. So they will go for the Trundle for themselves, who will be able to deal with you know, the Mundo pick in a side lane situation.
Trundle actually deals with a lot of what Machi Esports have in their bag now, especially with the stand behind me. That
Stand behind me.
Braum is able to give free resistances, so if you want to steal that away from a Mundo or maybe even a Jarvan who has the Demacian standard to give that aura as well, that is a possibility.
Yep, and Machi Esports looking for the AD carry right now. I would not be too surprised if they actually go for this Corki, who has seen a
has been creeping his way in
yeah,
into,
you know,
the Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, it's the Worlds effect. Every time when it approaches Worlds, we will be seeing a lot more Corki come into play here.
You don't see Corki in winter. You don't see Corki in winter because he's hibernating. You don't see Corki in spring because he has hay fever. You see Corki in summer because he loves those bikini curls. That's why he has his goggles and, you know, he flies around in the aeroplane.
Okay, I see where that's going with that. So the lineups have been finalized for both teams. It will be Wargods going up against Machi Esports, and you know.
Let's talk a little bit about Machi.
No, before that, I wanna cross my fingers. So do it together with me.
Okay, I'll cross my fingers.
Okay, the reason why I say that is because Wargods, you know, unfortunately wasn't able to get a stable connection in week number 1.
Okay.
So they had to forfeit their game against Cyclone Fantastic 5. It was a default penalty win for them.
Yep.
And they have one postponed game.
And that'll be postponed till next week, I believe.
Yes, and that one will be against Neolution Fulus, if I'm not wrong. You know, so do check out for the GPL website for more information. gpl.garena.com. And you know, Wargods, we have only seen them in this 2 weeks so far with only about 15 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah, 15 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah.
Okay, so my fingers are crossed. Hopefully they connect. But let's go back to the topic of the week or the topic of the day. Something that we wanted to talk about at the very start of the day. Didn't want to overhype it.
Yep.
So, from what I've gathered so far, let me summarize what Chris has said. Machi Esports, the word Machi itself, is a throwback to the Taiwanese hip-hop group, Machi.
Yes, correct.
They sing hip-hop songs.
Yeah, Machi was a big group.
Never heard of them, but okay.
Yeah, and it's surprising because you're at the same age as me.
But I'm not. Don't listen to like
okay,
Panto Pop or Mando Pop or you know.
So they were pretty big a couple of years ago, and when I look at Machi Esports as a esports team, I was thinking, is there any relevance? Is there any link at all? So at first I thought it would just be a coincidence, and I just
maybe they're sponsored by Machi
or something like that. So I just brushed it off.
Okay.
And here comes the missing piece to the puzzle over here. Big Brother, who's going to be playing today because of the fact that Vanilla and Golem, who is
before you say who he actually is,
yes,
mind you, he's the oldest League of Legends competitive player. I mean, to my knowledge,
yes,
that's playing in a competitive game. I mean, of course, I mean he's a competitive player, blah blah blah.
Yeah, so
he's 41 years old this year, I think.
41 years old playing a League of Legends competitive game. And he has to fill the shoes of the top lane. And this guy is none other than Mr. Jeffrey Huang. I would dare to call out his full name in full because he is a celebrity in the Taiwanese region.
Huang Li Chen.
Yeah, that's right. So this guy was in the Machi group a couple of years ago. Now, because the group has kind of disbanded. He is a superstar.
A Taiwanese
superstar playing in the Garena Premier League. How awesome is that?
Or maybe awesome for you because you kind of heard their songs, but it'll be quite crazy. It's like, let's think.
Let's think about it. What if
if Westlife or Backstreet Boys has a team for
what if Justin Timberlake one day plays in the League of Legends in the NA region? Like playing Sona.
Playing for Curse. Oh, I don't know.
Why Curse?
Or Complexity.
Curse Voice or?
Curse Academy? No,
okay.
He's too old for Curse Academy.
So anyways, that's the entire excitement that's coming into this one. And this is his debut match as an esports player, 41-year-old guy playing competitive esports. And this is not going to be the first time that we see him, hopefully, because
oh my goodness,
there we go
that
now.
Photo. That was back in the day, huh?
That was back in the day, and that is how mature this guy is. And I'm very excited because like you mentioned, I've kind of heard
What's
some of the songs.
What's your favorite Machi song that you can remember? I'm not gonna ask you to sing it. I just want to know.
I actually don't listen to a whole bunch of their songs.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I have seen them go on variety shows, the Taiwanese variety shows and stuff like that, and they are a very entertaining group overall. And they were one of those groups who were just off the whole thing about there was a lot of Taiwanese idol groups back then, but they were the ones to kind of break out and play, you know, hip hop music and stuff like that. So hopefully, speaking about breaking out, let's see if he can actually break out as a very successful esports player in his debut matchup against Wargods today. As our production crew kind of just have this guy over. So we're not overplaying it. This guy is a celebrity, mind you. So Mr. Jeffrey Huang over here.
Or Huang Lichen for all of you guys who are much more familiar with the Machi hip hop group. But okay, let's take a look at the champion lineup instead of the, you know, whole Jeffrey Huang Big Brother thing. For the blue side, which will be Wargods that's on the blue side, we have the, let's see, JLC in the top lane playing Trundle, in the jungle to be Stronger on Elise, in the mid lane is going to be Trevor playing Lulu, and of course in the dual lane is going to be Suez and Poisanity on Lucian and Morgana.
Yep, and on the side of Machi Esports, Big Brother with Dr. Mundo in the top lane, JK playing Jarvan in the jungle, Ender bring Yasuo, and D playing Corki down in the bottom lane together with Brom, who's going to be... Dreamer is going to be the one playing
This is a very manly team comp. Very manly team comp.
Manly team composition, every single one of them being male, and...
Dr. Mundo, if they all could grow a stash, that would be fantastic too.
Yeah, and all of them decided to play on the default skin as well.
Come on, Machi skins please. Like, you know, Machi hip-hop group skins.
If one day they become a partner with Riot Games, then probably we might see that
happen.
happen.
What if they
actually
win, like, world championships with Big Brother?
Oh, that would be pretty awesome, actually. Then we get the
if
Machi
they win
skins.
every single game from here on out.
Well, we already have Popstar Ari, so why not, you know, throwing some hip-hop stars.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so Wargods as well, you know, we have gave a lot of focus, so let's come back to Wargods for a bit. Of course, this is the team to make it out of the Philippines PGS tournament in the same fashion as Imperium Pro Team, but unfortunately due to the couple of technical delays that we had earlier in the previous weeks, they have only been able to play about 15 minutes of gameplay so far in the Garena Premier League.
There really isn't much we can talk about Wargods at this moment, other than the fact that they are still a relatively unknown team qualifying from the Philippines region, drawing and tying it up with IPT during their promotional. So,
yeah,
if we were to use a yardstick, it would be, we would use IPT as a yardstick, but you know, teams can be inherently different in terms of play styles and everything.
Yeah, exactly, and hopefully they will be able to sort of break out the odds and take one game off Machi Esports, who in the very first week did not look as impressive that we kind of expected them to be, but then they picked up a very solid win over Saigon Fantastic 5 in the opening game in week number 2. So right now we actually see Wargods investing a whole bunch of investment up in the red side jungle for Machi Esports, and Machi will do the same thing as well, so it's going to be a buff exchange overall.
Yeah, they're going to do that lateral jungle pathing Stronger here, picking up the red buff easily. At the same time, J Kane does the same as well. I do expect Big Brother as well as JLC to kind of shadow their junglers through the jungle paths and pick up these small camps for themselves, you know, just level it up. Let's see which team plays the 2 versus 0 lanes better. And, you know, we will see who comes out on top this game. Big Brother here, as Chris has said, playing his debut match, this hip-hop superstar from Taiwan, doing a, you know, playing that one, and the champion portrait has been changed.
Oh my goodness, and actually Wargods, they're falling back to a strategy that was very commonly seen a couple of weeks ago, this 4v0 push over here, but usually how the teams would like to do it is together with the minion wave, sorry, not the minion wave, with the cannon wave, because you will have some kind of protection subsequently following that. But for you know, for Wargods it's not so bad because they can still use the Spirelings for Stronger to tank it up for themselves. So both teams now going for the 4-for-0 strategy here, reminiscent of the past over here, and now Machi actually struggling to close out this turret down in the bottom lane, but they should be able to do so with J-Kin and D sticking around.
They don't want to lose the second tier turret to Wargods though, so they will send back Dreamer as well as, I believe, Big Brother to defend this one. But the question is, can they do it though? They have the cannon minion wave coming in onto this tier 2 turret. I think it's gonna fall as well though.
My goodness, very good rotations coming up from Wargods. Abusing for the fact that Elise will be able to push the turrets very quickly. So this is going to be the second turret of the game, going into Wargods' advantage, and a quick turnaround of events here. We might see the fight come through though.
Yeah, let's see the stun coming in. Will JLC actually get stunned? Oh, Poisanity is the first one to get stunned. Will First Blood come down? Flash coming up from Dreamer. JLC goes with the aggressive flash. Ender turns around to try to get some damage back onto him. Will JLC be able to get it? The stun comes in. One more auto attack will be enough. Yes, he actually gets the stun. Actually swears in a whole bunch of trouble. First Blood going down here. Java's the first one to fall. JLC will die as well.
Oh,
the
wow.
flash coming from Suez picks up the kill, gets the double kill onto Big Brother. First death of the game. And the First Blood will go to Wargods. Oh, nice wind wall there. Quick reflexes on Ender. But overall, Wargods come out on top. Machi Esports unable to get the turret, and Wargods getting 2 kills and the 2 turrets. Let's take a look at the replay though.
Very big swing of events over here. So let's take a very close look at this one. The turret falls. Machi wanted to go for the fight. JK with the flex spear combo only onto Poisanity, and everyone wanted to find a collapse onto him, but instead he will use that flash to get out of the fight here. And then if you look at it closely, JLC chased onto Dreamer, but Braum is naturally quite tanky in nature, and JK trying to get the catch onto Stronger as well, as actually he will trade his flash to get out of there away from Big Brother as well. And actually Dreamer did not go down in the entire fight. And look at this over here. Sweats with a very quick auto attack, getting one more kill in, and then finally the red buff ticking with Suez flashing in for the kill as well. In the end, Wargods come out huge in the first 5 minutes of the game, gaining that 2,000 gold lead. Yeah, exactly.
Jinx. But anyway, Chris.
Yes.
Wargods against Machi Esports. I mean, Big Brother, he's not exactly a professional League of Legends player. He's the owner of Machi Esports. And, I mean, he did do a considerable job zoning, but before that, oh, Suez here going on to the aggressive Poisanity, unable to land the Dark Binding. But like I said, in that top lane brawl, Big Brother really missed out a kill against Stronger, and you know, just kind of overextended a little bit too much before kind of dying to Suez as well.
I like the movements from Wargods over here. They know for a fact that Big Brother needs to be stalling up on the top lane. He's trying to freeze it, get some experience so that he can come back to this game. And immediately they turn their attention down to the bottom lane. First jumping onto D, and then now grouping up as 5 men, taking down the dragon as well. And like we mentioned earlier, the first dragon is not so important for the goal, but about the timer. And now D might get caught out.
Oh, the cocoon will not actually be used onto anybody. Ender trying to actually trade with Trevor here. He is only at level 5, but Trevor does not have enough mana to use the Wild Growth. A Glitter Lance will be enough to chase Ender away from that lane aggression. 4-man push now, I believe, into this bottom lane against the Machi Esports Club, and they will try to take their 3rd turret of the game and extend their goal lead to an even higher level.
Yeah, and this is something that we have not seen a lot in the past couple of weeks or so. And actually, if you look at some of the items over at Machi Esports, 4 pink wards now being bought on their own end. So even though if you think about it, they are down by 3,000 gold, they are actually much in a bigger deficit than that because they invested some money into trying to regain some vision control over here. And let's see if Wargods are able to take control over there. And you know, like I was saying, this is a very different play style that we have seen in competitive scene in the last month or so, because generally teams now stray away from this fast push strategy. As you know, the first 7 minutes of the game, the outer turrets still have those protection, but Wargods is playing this out very, very well, and you know, they are punishing Machi Esports for those hesitations that they had earlier. And right now they are gathering up in the mid lane as well. Let's see if they will be able to defend that with a 5-man push attempt. Big Brother is making his way down to the mid lane though to try to assist his teammates.
Well, he does have the teleport up, so I wouldn't be surprised that, like you said, like, you know, he makes his way down, but instead he's just going to go try to split push, whereas Machi Esports will do their best to deal as much damage to the turret as possible.
Right, so overall it is going to be a little
and actually gets hit by the Dark Binding, but a nice Unbreakable there. by Dreamer will be used to kind of block off as many of those shots as possible.
Yeah, and you know the thing about, the good thing about Machi Esports' composition in this fight against Wargods is the fact that
it's a very manly composition.
Not only that, there's a lot of walls that's going to be able to create terrain that's going to block off some of the skill shots that Wargods is going to be able to do. Look at that, the Glitter Lens came out and it quickly blocks that off with the wind wall. So in that sense, they can sort of block a lot of siege attempts. And Trevor
wow.
taking a whole bunch of damage. Poisanity is stronger, returning to mid lane though.
That's right, JLC has been sent to the top lane to deal with the split push from Big Brother on Dr. Mundo here. But Machi Esports just, grouping up as 4-man in the mid lane to try to push down this mid lane turret as fast as they can. Ender once again just going to constantly use that wind wall. He does get hit by the Dark Binding though. This turret will go down.
Yeah, Machi Esports finally gaining some leverage for themselves as they take their first turret of this game.
Yeah, it's still about 2,500 gold down though.
Yeah, exactly that. And I think Big Brother is trying very hard to climb himself back into this game though, but so far JLC has been doing a very good job of keeping up in terms of farm, even though he has been roaming a lot more than what Big Brother has been doing and picking up that double Dorans for himself, so he will be able to trade out in any sorts of brawl against Dr. Mundo so far, and Stronger making his appearance up in the top lane again, so applying this pressure so that
in the mid lane though, it's gonna be Ender against Trevor. Trevor has a whole bunch there, and then we see the turnaround, the Wild Growth coming in from Trevor. Will we have Ender use his last breath? He's unable to get any sort of knockout. Actually gets hit by the Spiderlings and the stun. Ender actually using the dash to get out. Actually JLC is the one who gets the kill using the subjugate damage. Then let's see if D will be able to get away. He gets hit by that one, and the Dark Binding Gate getting blocked here by Dreamer. So D managing to escape that one just barely. He did get hit by the Cocoon, and if the Dark Binding layered over it, it would have been a very dead Corki.
Yeah, Wargods once again putting on the aggression, but JK going up against Stronger 1v1. Mano to mano, and actually JK is the one that goes through now. Dreamer in a whole bunch of trouble. He is just gonna go down in this one, no doubt about that at all.
Oh, the culling
is the one that picks up with the culling. That is now 5-1 kills in the advantage for Wargods. As we take a look at the replay of that fight in the mid lane for this one, as Ender just brawls it up with Trevor. So if you look at it, in the end it was at the side here, yeah, there we go. The Cocoon that lands.
He flashed into the Cocoon here.
Very unfortunate for Ender there.
Exactly, and then I think it's the Subjugate that kills him. Yeah, it is the Subjugate that kills him.
Yeah, so JLC picks up 1 kill for himself, and then look at this one, this particular Cocoon over here, landing on the side onto D, but great defense from Dreamer here to protect his AD carry, so preventing the fall. But right now, Wargods firmly in control of this game. 4,500 in the advantage as compared to Machi Esports. Just 11 minutes, 12 minutes into this one. So you have to start to wonder whether you want to let the game owners play in the game.
I don't know, man. I mean, Big Brother hasn't been making very flashy plays, but then again, he isn't really making all too many mistakes either. I mean, what do you expect a Mundo to do 11 minutes in this game?
Fair enough.
Not much.
Fair enough.
You never know. Maybe Big Brother's a really, really good League of Legends player.
Yeah, so we will see as the time will go by to attest to that. But Wargods once again pushing on to their early game advantages, taking the mid lane turret for themselves as well. So right now, Wargods, I really like their movements in the map so far. They are playing sort of this counter meta strategy over here to go for fast pushes instead of dragging the game out, and then leaving Machi Esports with no room to breathe at all. And so far the strategy has been working very well, so that securing every single objective as they can throughout the map. 4 turrets already and 2 dragons in their favor.
I really want someone to kind of count how many pink wards Machi Esports has bought, because they're really investing a lot of gold onto these wards to try and get the vision back, try to clear as much vision as possible. But let's see if Machi Esports can claw their way back in this game, because they are at about 5,500 gold deficit against Wargods, and Wargods doesn't seem to be letting up in terms of pressure at all.
Yep, and the thing about... Here comes the real test though. What is Wargods trying to... What is Wargods' next step in this game? So actually they are going to continue to push on to the second tier turret over here.
Dreamer takes a lot of damage though as he kind of waltzes in without any backup. JK onto the side looking for an engage. Actually he goes in and goes with that. Oh, nice one. We have the last breath coming in from Ender, but he gets hit up by the Soul Shackles. Elise uses a repel to try to escape. D joins the fight from the side. Has a lot of damage as an AD carry now. He wants to chase onto Ender. Will he be able to do it? The Whimsy will try to get Ender. Big Brother gets his first professional kill of the GPL. He wants to try to zone out Suez and JLC, but kind of second guesses himself and walks back.
That's right. So in the end, it was a 1-for-1 trade, but Machi Esports have a successful defense in the mid lane for the second tier turret. But Big Brother has to be very careful though.
That's right, the culling now actually doing a whole bunch of damage. Poisanity misses the Dark Binding completely, the flash and the heal coming in from both Big Brother as well as the Sweat takes a little bit too much damage. The Black Shield isn't going to shield you from that attack damage skills of the Missile Barrage.
That's right, and you know, very close shave for Big Brother over there, but he was able to sort of put on the return damage of the Wargods to force them away from the mid lane. So that being said though, Wargods still firmly in control in this game.
If you were a new League of Legends player trying to play professionally, Mundo might be one of the best champions for you to play.
Why?
Just Q all the way. That's all you need to do. Infected Cleavers all the way and press R.
Wouldn't that be Soraka then?
Well, in the top lane though.
Yeah, we do have a couple of top lane Sorakas in a couple
is,
of months ago. So
true.
yeah.
But
so
you need someone tanky, so I think just Mundo's pretty.
I can build a Warmox on Soraka and I'm good to go.
Fine.
Yeah. Oh, well, fair enough.
I'm just saying that it's easier for Big Brother too. I'm not saying that he's a bad player, but I would assume that, you know, as the owner, you don't train with the team all too much. And
well, he has his career to worry about.
Yeah, he does, and you know, being put in this spot, it's a little bit awkward. I mean, like, imagine your team coach or team manager comes and tell you, you know, boss.
Yes.
I need you to play for the team.
What?
Because
what do I play? Do I play Mundo?
Yeah, you play Mundo because you're our Taka, you're our big brother.
Just like how Dr. Mundo looks like the big brother as well, right?
Yeah, he does.
I would have thought that Braum looks kind of like the bigger brother in this one.
That's why you give the first pick. Oh, but before that, Poisanity actually lands Soul Shackles onto Big Brother. Big Brother taking a lot of damage, will pop the sadism to walk away. So ultimate for ultimate here, Ender actually being cut off by JLC as he gets the teleport underneath the turret. But yes, like I said, Big Brother, you give him the first pick Braum, but make him play Dr. Mundo, so he picks both the Manny and the Captain.
Alright, so Dreamer here with the siege, trying to block off the siege attempt from Wargods, and now D joins the fray, so they should be able to make this defense happen as JLC still up in the top lane, pushing by himself. And I have to say, so far, you know, we have been sort of talking about, sort of hyping around Machi Esports. Oh, hold on, JK gets got over here. The culling hits true, as well as now he has the backup using the EQ combo. And yeah, both teams will back off from there. So like I was saying, we have been playing around a lot of this Machi Esports and the fact that the game owner is playing the game. But I have to say, Wargods, they had their internet connection issues, but right now, while they're back at full force, they look very impressive in this match against Machi Esports at this point of the game, because you know, making this snip-snap early game decisions, going for the fast push strategy that I believe completely caught Machi Esports off guard.
Yeah, I mean, those 4-0 pushes into the second tier turret, even picking that one up as well as a few kills before going out and constantly putting the pressure. Now they have their eyes set onto the inner tier 2 turret of Machi Esports. Let's see if Wargods is able to keep up with that momentum. And the thing is that Machi Esports will try to get their second turret of the game, and this is going to be gold back in their favor. And the longer they continue to stall it out, Mundo's going to scale very well into the late game. Yasuo is going to scale very well into the late game. Corki falls off quite a bit, but Dreamer on Braum is a very strong scaling late game support.
Yeah, that said though, we do see Wargods returning into the mid lane to push out, but they might.
Oh, there we go, the initiation coming in from JK. Oh, JK, you're taking a whole bunch of damage. And there we see the ultimate from Braum coming in. JLC taken down extremely low. The Wild Growth has already been put onto him. Dreamer trying to block as much damage as possible. Big Brother in the middle of the fight, trying to stall. JK misses his Flag Lance combo, gets hit by the Cocoon to execute. Double kill coming in from Stronger, but the chase is going to go on. Ender joins the fight with some of that cleanup damage. kills of Treble, his mid lane opponent, and now he's gonna look for another side lane, possibly even a blue buff, as Poisanity will start his recall somewhere out of vision from the rest of the Machi esports team.
Right, so he will be on his merry way here. So usually when you are on a team that's behind and you go for this 2-for-2 trade, I would say that it is going to go into an advantage. But what we actually saw right there was Wargods brute forcing their way down the second tier turret. And let's take a look at what actually happened here. So if you look at what JLC, focus onto JLC here, he doesn't care. He's just tanking up and then going straight for the turret. So the turret goes down immediately from there. Stronger now leaps into action with Big Brother turning into a cupcake as well. And now Dreamer trying to back off from there. And look at how long JLC survived in the entire engage. And with the rest of the team, none of those focus was on them. So they could easily just maneuver around the map for a lot. And JK went down as well to stronger in that entire exchange, and finally Ender rejoined his team to get a little bit of cleanup after that.
Yeah, that was actually a 4v4 siege by Wargods without their AD carry.
Yeah.
So they actually siege down their mid lane turret without Suez being in that lane.
So right now he is joining up with his team.
Oh, Stronger actually making the wraparound. We have the teleport coming in by Big Brother. Oh, there he goes. Actually, in the back lines, they will be fighting on the turret. D actually gets pushed out. Big Brother will be the first one to go down in this fight. Dreamer should be the second one. He actually tries to flash out of it. JLC thinking about chasing in. Suez actually gets the Wild Grove being popped onto him. JK tries to go in, deals as much damage as possible. But there we have the heal coming out from Poisanity.
Oh, wow.
3-man Soul Shackles actually procs 2 of them. And there we see JK going down as well. So it's going to be a 4 versus 1 trade in favor of Wargods. And they take down all the outer and inner turrets of Machi esports.
20 minutes in as well. Very impressive play from Wargods over here, and right now they do have the numbers advantage as well. I believe this is going to be the bottom inhibitor going down to for Machi esports as well, and Wargods actually they decide to back off after taking out the inhibitor turret, so very safe play, and I don't blame them honestly. And let's take a look at the replay to see the wraparound from Stronger right as you spotted it, and D was forced away from the fight right at the start. And JLC, look at him, he's just very fearless in this fight, you know, just popping the subjugate, getting the extra resistance out and going ham on every single member of Machi esports. Ender tries to make the counter play though, but eventually he just got zoned out. And I want to kind of focus on this eventual play that comes out. Flashes in with the Soul Shackle onto 3 members of Machi esports, locking down Dreamer and JK, and then allowing Stronger.
Everyone, even Corky.
Yeah.
Just before he actually uses the.
Yeah, and of course we did see Poisanity actually finishing off the kill as well, using the Dark Binding to finish off JK over there. So. Yeah. Very calculated timings from Poisanity, and a very noteworthy play overall.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, Wargods here just showing that, you know, maybe if some of their internet connections get fixed and everything goes well for them, they can really put out some very aggressive plays, be the fast pushers, and try to take down as many objectives as possible before, you know, their composition kind of falls off. I'm surprised that Trevor does not decide to opt for the early Lich Bane. Instead goes for the Morello Nomicon for the cooldown reduction as well as the death cap to give his AP ratio a little bit of a boost. It kind of does help because JLC has been the one that's in the front line, doing a lot of damage to turrets, doing a lot of damage to champions, and having the additional health from health picks, as well as the Wild Grove will just allow his subjugate to kind of become even more effective.
And I almost feel like that's... Oh, hold on. Ender actually getting called out by JLC. Might see him just go ham in that one. Ender might just go down the process. JLC goes 1 in on that one. And now Dreamer in a bit of trouble. JLC still chasing down to him though. Here comes the ultimate that's going to come through. D now trying to return some damage, but doesn't happen. And the Cocoon locks him down as well. Suez going very aggressively on that one, but Wargods have already done the damage. 2 kills now down, and the Dark Binding lands onto D, stopping him dead in his tracks as Wargods now focus their attention down on the bottom lane inhibitor.
Yeah, that's right. So Wargods have a very strong lead, 10,000 gold, 20 minutes into this game. As we take a look at this replay, so Ender here, look at that. JLC, fantastic pillar, or the trophy there, the baseball slugger, trophy from the Trundle. And the wind wall will actually not block anything at all because Poisanity gets the gets the dark binding from the side. And the continuous chase here by JLC with the wild growth just ensures that Dreamer does not get away at all. D very lucky to escape his life there, managing to get the escape coming out, despite, you know, the cocoon actually landing onto him.
Yeah, and we were kind of like we talked about it in the beginning of the match. We're not too sure what kind of team Wargod is and what kind of team is going to turn up in this match against Machi Esports. And obviously, Machi Esports are kind of the favorites to come into this one, but Wargods have been playing a fantastic game so far. And, you know, proving their worth, that why they deserve to be in the Garena Premier League. And, you know, I think it's kind of unfair now to put them in comparison to Imperium Pro Team, because this looks like they're well way to the first victory of the split.
That's right. I mean, despite all the internet connections, they have kept their heads in the game, kept their heads calm, and they are ready to do this one. Oh, Big Brother actually picking a fight against Stronger.
Yeah,
he will miss the first infected cleaver though, takes a little bit too much damage in return. Actually going to continue on. Suez actually in the outside. Oh, Ender here trying to go in as deep as possible. And oh, the double wall coming in. Oh, fantastic block coming in from Dreamer, but the execute damage from Stronger will be enough to pick that one up. Oh, actually the ultimate turns around. Dreamer tries to pick up the kill. Big Brother managing to run away from this one. D actually getting locked up here. JLC and Poisanity will pair it up to pick up the kill. Treble actually takes a whole bunch of damage as he tries to fend off D, managing to escape away as well.
Yep.
3-man walking up this bottom lane. Easy inhibitor pickup for the side of Wargods.
That's right, and Wargods once again coming huge in that exchange over there, 3-1, as they pick up the ball inhibitor. We will go into a replay to see the other half of the action that happened. So let's look at what happened here. Trevor picking up the kill onto J. Kane, I believe. So J. Kane wanted to go aggressive onto D as well, but Poisanity was there to back up his teammates, and J. Kane was the first to fall. And now D in a whole bunch of trouble, but JLC once again with the charm on the kill is going to slow him down. He tries to return the damage onto the remaining member of Wargods, but instead will just go down in the process. Now Wargods on the live action screen picking up one more dragon for themselves, extending their goal lead 13,000 in 25 minutes.
Yeah, look at the amount of gold difference here on every side. 10,000 gold compared to the 7,000 gold on the marksman here. And even in the top lane, even in the supports, actually, a 3,000 gold difference between Poisanity as well as Dreamer. So, Machi Esports really not looking all too good. Their composition does scale rather well into the late game, but I think Wargods has a composition that can scale into the late game as well. So, having that early gold lead here, actually a huge gold lead this early into this game, will definitely allow Wargods to close it out. Question is, how fast can they do it? And what can Machi Esports do to kind of fend them off and maybe look for a comeback here?
I think they need to stop leading objectives, even though it's going to be quite difficult to do so. What they really need to do now is to make full use of those two, those two walls that they have from Dreamer as well as from Ender. If they just stick around to their lanes and then use those two walls up in the same time, they could have easily blocked out some of those range skill shots that we were kind of discussing about earlier as well. So let's see what's going to be the case over here. But, you know, this whole thing about Machi going up against Wargods, I don't really want to attribute this to the fact that Big Brother is sort of called to play in the last minute and he's the game owner of the team at the end of the day. But I have to say, Wargods have been playing very fantastically. They have a very clear game plan drawn out right from the start.
Yeah, they definitely have a good idea of what they want to do.
From the start for the 4v0, might be also the reason why Machi was unable to respond to that, because most of the times I think teams are prepared to go for 2v0s, 1 versus 1 in the standard matchup, but not so much of 4v0s anymore. And we did see everything just snowball out of control ever since then.
A double lane push coming in from Wargods. Can Machi Esports actually defend against this one? They have a super minion wave running into their base. Wargods now taking their time, noticing that the super minions are pushing in and all the lanes for Machi Esports are in. They will go for the dragon here. As you can see at the bottom half of your screen now. Oh, a pause coming in this time. As the super minions push into this base and as Machi Esports decides to go. Let's take a look at where JK is actually on the map here. He's actually in the top half of the map, walking into the lane. Suez actually disconnecting. Oh my goodness. If the internet issues pop out now.
Did I stop crossing my fingers in that?
I don't know. I've been crossing my fingers the entire game, Chris. So let's just hope for the best. Hopefully there isn't really any huge issue and that, you know, once Suez can reconnect, we can go back into the game.
Yeah, and it would be a pity for Wargods to sort of stop the game right here as well, because they have been doing fantastically 28 minutes in. They look very impressive, you know, finally making a full-length appearance in the Garena Premier League so far. And, you know, that being said, and now Suez is back into the game. Hopefully we get to see the conclusion to this very epic game over here, as Wargods have already started things off at the Baron Pit. And let's see if Machi Esports will be able to respond to that
as we wait for the game to be resumed. But let's take a look at the items first. So here we have in the top lane, of course, a quite an even item display here by both JLC as well as Big Brother. But before that, let's take a look at this Baron attempt.
Right, here comes the
JK
Baron
coming
attempt.
in. Will he flash in? Oh, he actually flashes in. He gets the steal! And there we go. Machi Esports getting a whole bunch of gold back in terms of that Baron buff. JK actually managed to survive this one. JLC, though, he manages to take down D. Can Machi Esports get out alive with this Baron buff? Ender is letting sort of go down. Suez going all ham on everyone here. If Trevor manages to land a glitter lance or one of the stuns, Big Brother is most likely going to go down. Double kill for Stronger. Goes in. There we see Dreamer managing to get out of this one. JLC is actually hitting the base now. He teleported right there. First Nexus turret is going to go down. The second Nexus turret is going to fall. The death timers are long enough for Wargods to actually end off this game right here, right now.
I believe Dreamer is not going to be able to stop JLC, so this game is definitely going to go into Wargods' favor, as
they're not going to end it just yet, though.
Yeah, so just
the respawn timers are back already, so Machi Esports can put up a final fight here as the game is paused once again.
Everyone just take a deep breath in. This might just be the final fight for Wargods and Machi Esports over here. But before then, the Baron steal from JK.
That was just overall sloppy play by Stronger. Let's watch that Baron fight and, you know, let's kind of walk through it in slow motion. So,
there we go.
That was too fast for me to catch anything at all. But yeah, okay, there we go, there we go. Awesome. So you watch this. 3 members of Wargods are there to kind of go in onto this one. JK uses the flag lance combo to close the gap and just flash in for the smite, and Stronger didn't even get his smite off that game in that attempt. So
if you look carefully in that one, it was actually it might be accidental, but it was a chain of damage from the missiles from DE over there, and then, you know, you chain that up with the smite, and probably because of that, Stronger wasn't unable to get the spike.
It wasn't prepared for that spike.
Yeah,
spike of damage. So here we go, the chase coming in. Big Brother flashing away, and then we have the cocoon actually landing onto Big Brother as the volatile spider lane kind of goes in onto his behind here. Stronger gets the double kill. Dreamer barely out of range and using the stand behind me to jump to the minion. They could have really ended it right here. Look, JLC is hitting onto the Nexus turrets, and all they need to do was to kind of ignore the turret that was in the top lane, walk up to the Nexus and just beat it up, basically. Yeah,
so Wargods gave a second chance to Machi Esports to save it, but I'm not too sure how much of that they are going to be able to capitalize off of that, because to be honest, they are down by 16,000 gold. That's how far behind they are in this game. And I don't think even if with one good team fight, Machi can bring the game back for themselves. The most they can probably push down 1 or 2 turrets, and, you know, that's about it. But they have to worry about that stream of super minions that's going to come in from the bottom lane as well as the top lane.
Let me remind you of a story, Chris.
Yes.
at the time in Runeterra, there was
Oh my God.
troll kid that was stuck in a mountain.
Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Story time from Wolf.
So, a hero was called to save this troll kid, right?
Okay.
And
A troll kid.
Yeah, a troll kid.
Okay.
A kid troll, basically, like if Trundle had a kid.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So he was
Yeah.
stuck in this mountain, and of course the hero that came punched through the mountain to save the kid. And that's of course the law of Braum.
Yes, I know.
And Braum has the Baron buff. So can he be the hero for Machi Esports? Punch through every single member of Wargods and win them the game.
We'll have to see. He does have that unbreakable door of his as his shield.
He does.
So, you know, if he manages to come through,
He's
then
a manly man too. A very manly man.
and with a very manly mustache as well.
A manly stash as well.
Yeah, so we're just kind of waiting for the game to resume over here. Hopefully, let's keep everyone just keep your fingers crossed over here, even the viewers as well. Let's pray that Wargods get their internet issue resolved very, very quickly in this one, so that we can see the epic conclusion to this very interesting game over here.
Where's Casey?
And something I just want to point out as well, you know, Wargods coming into this game with pretty much not that big of an expectation for them, have definitely outperformed as a team. Because as a matter of fact, you know, a lot of them would have expected them to sort of perform like the Imperium Pro team, because they were on even grounds where they came out of the Philippines promotional tournament. And then right now they are giving us this fantastic showing in this game against Machi Esports.
Yeah, that's right. So as we kind of wait for the game to kind of resume, let's kind of talk about next week's matches first off.
Fine.
So on Wednesday here, it's going to be the Azul Taipei Assassins up against the Saigon Jokers for the first game of the week, followed by ISG Legends up against Imperium Pro Team. Bottom of the table fight now, and ISG Rebirth up against Wargods. Wargods, if they manage to get their first win, they're going to have a 1-up against Rebirth, I believe. Following which is going to be AHQ Esports Club against the Saigon Fantastic Five. So the bottom of the table versus the top of the table immediately kicking off week number 3 of the GPL.
Right, and it's going to be interesting as well as we get the clash of the regions. And I believe the matches, the first and fourth match will be something that a lot of viewers will be waiting for. As
I think all the matches actually, because it's going to be the ones that we have to look out for at least. So we have all the timings for you in, I believe, in Pacific Standard Time, in Singapore time, 8+8 GMT, and of course Central European Standard Time
and
for you viewers.
PDT as well.
That's right.
Yeah, so did I just hear someone has reconnected?
Yeah, I'm not very sure, but we will definitely go back into the game once the game resumes. Do not worry all too much. Let's kind of talk about where the rest of the GPL is going to go. So if you guys are newly tuning in, this is the Korean Premier League, Southeast Asia's Premier League of Legends League. And this summer split is the most important for everyone in the GPL, because the winner of this summer split gets a ticket to Worlds. And as I say this, let's see if Machi Esports can keep their dreams alive.
Right, Wargods here channeling the inner Athena, trying to close off this game over here. Trying to summon off the last bit of strength to close off this game. So Machi Esports, a couple of them still have the Baron buff as well, but right now, the top lane and the bottom lane will have those super minions marching into Machi Esports bases over here.
Inhibitor has respawned though, so it's a good opportunity for for everyone to just kind of get their bearings once more. At least one inhibitor is up for the side of Machi Esports, and the good thing is that they don't have 2 waves of super minions to deal with.
Oh yeah, the bottom one was just protected by Big Brother with Dr. Mundo over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that being said though, Wargods have gone back to shop, and they should be looking to close up the game very, very quickly. And Trevor over here, 1, 2, and 16, finishing up the Death Cat alongside the Zhonya's Hourglass. So he's going to have a whole bunch of shields that's going to stack up for JLC.
The final push coming in, Wargods looking to go full tutorial mode here against Machi Esports, looking to fight at the mid lane inhibitor turret. Stronger doing the split push, trying to put as much pressure to the bottom lane as possible, Machi Esports will just have to turtle in their own base and maybe even try to set up for some picks within their own jungle.
Yep, and every single one of the members of Wargods playing exceptionally well in this game. And of course, one of those is going to be Suez, who manages to keep himself alive all throughout the game. 6-0 and 7, 216 CS. You know, very interesting build from him as well. Not going for the very early Trinity Force, but instead, you know, just rushed for the straight out damage from Bloodthirster as well as Phantom Dancer.
Oh wow, they're completely ignoring Machi Esports here. JLC just, you know, going all hands, walking up into 5 members of Machi Esports and trying to hit the turret as much as possible. If Machi Esports can get a clean initiative. Oh wow, the Nexus turret though.
Yeah, Super Minions actually doing the job for Wargods over here, and now Dreamer getting caught out. Okay, he's just gonna go now. Trevor picks up that kill. Suez in a bit of trouble. I think he's gonna go down, but that doesn't matter. Trevor now double kill. The shutdown goes over to Big Brother, but this is gonna be Wargods closing off the game as the ace comes through as well. Wargods gonna pick up their first victory of the summer split of the Gardener Premier League 2014.
There we go. That's it for the final game of the night, but let's talk a little bit about how Wargods have been playing. Like you said, before this game, there's been little to no footage outside of the Philippine promotion tournament. There's been little to no GPL footage of Wargods, and because of the disconnections, thank goodness that today, yes, we may have two rather...
we crossed our fingers hard enough.
There may have been two rather long pauses, but I really like the way Wargods play. They go in for a very aggressive push, and they know their game plan. They go in for those siege compositions, or at least, you know, they 5-man and try to siege down a turret, and they play the game rather well. Let's take a look at a quick replay of that final fight and watch how, you know, Wargods really ended off this game.
This is the final stand for Machi Esports. So Dreamer was the first one to the call out. Actually pumps off a very good ultimate over here to try to create a zone.
Suez nearly got taken down here, but look at this one.
Suez, I believe, actually got taken down in the process,
right.
but it doesn't matter at all. With all these resources now channeled onto him, JLC was left untouched the entire time. And of course, Stronger had a fair amount of items, a fair amount of damage, magic penetration. Gonna finish off the fight.
really wanted an ace here. He really wanted this ace.
Why not? Because, you know, he had the resources to do so.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so very impressive game from Wargods over there, and I'm very curious as to see what's the future for Machi Esports, because, you know, we have kind of talked about it, kind of had our own fun times.
Grook had left right before the GPL started.
Yeah.
And then, you know, all these things that happened over the past few days causing, I believe, Golem and of course Vanilla V to get kicked out of Machi Esports, being banned from Professional League of Legends, forcing their owner, a 41-year-old Taiwanese hip-hop superstar, to play League of Legends in the GPL.
Yeah, so I'm very curious as to see what's the future for Machi Esports in the end. Are they going to find new players, or are they actually going to feel their team owner to play in this one? So is this going to be the last of him? We will only have to wait till next week to find out.
Yeah, that's right. Speaking about next week, let's take a look once more at the schedule for next week, if we can try to bring that out on our screens once more. Okay,
quick recap.
Quick recap. All matches start at 3 p.m. PDT. 3 a.m. PDT,
yeah,
sorry.
3 a.m. PDT.
6 p.m. GMT plus 8 Singapore Malaysian time, or 12 p.m. I think this is wrong. This should
it's 12 p.m.
CEST 12 p.m.?
Yeah, CEST 12 p.m.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so Taipei Assassins going up against Saigon Jokers. Oh well, okay, it just disappeared. So anyway, if you want to find out, oh, we're back again. So very quick run through. Taipei Assassins going up against SAJ. You know, ISG Legends going up against Imperium Pro Team. Rebirth going up against Wargods. And then finally, to wrap that night off, it's going to be AHQ going up against SF5. So
like I said, top of the table versus top of the table, bottom table versus the bottom of the table. I think that'll be it for week number 2, day number 3.
Yeah, and for more information about player profiles, about the teams as well, do head on down to gpl.garena.com for more information. So with that, my name is Chris, his Wolf, and on behalf of the entire production crew from the Garena Premier League, we thank you for your viewership, and
we'll see you next week.